Good evening, class. Today we're going to be starting our lesson on drug policies and the different opinions on legalization and drug imprisonment. So what two drugs would you guys like to start with discussing about today?
I think we should talk about cocaine.
I think we should talk about marijuana because it's very controversial.
Okay, so you guys chose cocaine and marijuana. So we should start off by making a list between the two of the pros and the cons. So let's start with marijuana.
Well, marijuana is shown to have medical value.
It also creates revenue from the taxes. Like states that have already legalized, such as Colorado, use the revenue from taxes to put back into the community towards school projects and road improvements.
The legal sales create jobs like growers and suppliers.
The regulation of marijuana can make it less accessible to minors.
With legalization, police officers can focus more on fighting crimes.
Okay, that was a pretty good list. The medical values and the taxes and stuff, those are all really good pros to marijuana. Now, what do you guys think about the cons of marijuana?
Marijuana can be addictive.
It can be a danger to developing brains.
Legalization could lead to an increase in marijuana-positive drivers and fatal auto crashes.
Chronic use can result in depleted motivation and affect the user's productivity and daily life.
It's a gateway drug.
There's nothing wrong with marijuana, it's just a plant.
You don't even go here.
Okay, nice work so far. So now we're going to move on to cocaine, and let's do the same thing. Let's list out some of the pros and cons of the use of cocaine.
I mean, I guess you get a short burst of energy.
Yeah, that would probably wake you up and clear your mind a little bit.
You'd probably lose weight.
I think you feel it immediately.
Okay, good pros. So, which one of you guys have done it before? No, I'm totally kidding. No. Okay, let's talk about the cons now.
The overuse of cocaine leads to death.
Yeah, it also leads to heart attacks and irregular heartbeat.
There's a change in brain chemistry too.
Addiction and physical and mental.
Okay, so it's pretty clear that you guys know quite a bit about marijuana and cocaine and the effects of it on today's society. Do you guys know anything about how it affects the federal law enforcement and how that works?
At the state level, marijuana is considered legal, depending on which states we're talking about. And on the federal level, marijuana and cocaine are considered illegal.
It says here that the charges for possessing marijuana in Illinois for 10 grams or less is punishable by a fine of $100 to $200 and no jail time. For the possession of 5,000 grams is punishable by imprisonment with a minimum of 4 years and a max of 30 years, also a fine of $25,000.
In various states, marijuana has been legalized for medical purposes and even decriminalized possessions of small amounts. And Illinois is an example of that. States such as California or Colorado have legalized the recreational use of marijuana for adults aged 21 and up and medically legal for adults 18 and up. Under the federal level, marijuana is considered an illegal drug which prohibits the sale and use, and if caught with the possession, the consequences could range from a $1,000 fine to a life sentence of imprisonment.
Yeah, actually, as far as how it varies throughout states and as far as some new drug policies, about a year ago. Yeah, okay, good work. If we're talking about as far as it goes on the state level, and if we want to throw in some new drug policies, about a year ago today, Colorado actually legalized the use of recreational marijuana. They allow recreational sales, so about up to 1 ounce of a concentrate, so like shatter or wax or something, and they can also sell up to 1 ounce of edibles. You can actually legally possess up to 28 grams as defined by the Colorado Constitution, actually. And also, as far as DUIs, the legal limit is 5 nanograms per milliliter of blood while driving, and as long as you don't smoke it on federal lands like public properties and things like that, then you should be good in Colorado.
Okay, since marijuana can be legalized in certain states and even decriminalized, can the same thing happen with cocaine where it's legal in some states and not others?
That can't happen because cocaine's like too serious of a drug and it's linked to more violent and serious offenses. The charges for possessing cocaine in Illinois are if you possess 1 to 14 grams, it's 4 to 15 years up to a $250,000 fine. 15 to 99 grams are 6 to 30 years and up to a $500,000 fine. 100 to 399 grams are 9 to 40 years, up to $500,000 fine or street value of substance. 400 to 899 grams is 12 to 50 years, or up to $500,000 fine or street value of substance. And 900 grams or more is 50 to 60 years, up to a $500,000 fine or street value of substance.
Yeah, that makes sense because in 2013 there were over 5,000 overdoses of cocaine.
Yeah, I think the imprisonment is effective because cocaine is a severe drug that can't be regulated like marijuana. Cocaine is a drug that many can quickly become addicted to. The effects of long-term cocaine use are life-altering. People develop a physical dependence on the drug and experience mental changes. Dependence changes how the neurotransmitters are released in your brain. Essentially, it changes your brain's chemistry. After using the drug for multiple times, you will build up a tolerance and require more to get high, or the person will experience withdrawals. The need for cocaine makes people crazy and will do anything to get more. Theft, armed robbery, and violence can all happen as a result of cocaine. Cocaine is linked to more dangerous trafficking, selling, and gang activity. In U.S. federal courts in 2007, 5,477 individuals were found guilty of crack cocaine-related crimes. More than 95% of these offenders had been involved in crack cocaine trafficking.
Yeah, that's a really good point. And in relation to that, with some new policies, in 2010, Obama actually signed off on this thing called the Fair Sentencing Act. And this meant that there were longer sentences for crack cocaine use versus using powder cocaine, because I guess the crack actually seemed a lot more harmful. And just from that alone, the crack cocaine levels dropped a lot. And it said that 4,730 people were sentenced for crack offenses in 2010. After that form was signed and went through, that in 2014 there were only 2,366 people sentenced for the use. Okay, class, that was actually a lot of really good work today. We went over a lot of really good information, and we're actually about to run out of time. So to end off class, I'm going to pull up a really quick video that shows an example of the difference between the consequences for a cocaine offender versus a marijuana offender.
Order, court is now in session. Today we have Alejandra here who was arrested with 2.5 grams of marijuana while she was driving last night. Do you have anything you want to say about that?
I don't know. It was a little bit.
Okay, well, since you have no priors on your record, we're just going to give you a slap on the wrist and you're going to have to pay a $100 fine. All right, the court's calling Sheridan Hayes to the stand. All right, you were pulled over last night with 2.5 grams of cocaine in your car. Do you have anything to say about the offense? No? All right, well, looking at your record, seems like you've gotten in trouble a few times, and we're going to give you 6 years in prison, and you're going to have to pay a $10,000 fine.
What?
Quarters out.
I think we should talk about marijuana.
Yeah, marijuana.